Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel, honey. Welcome back to yet another quick chat. Today on the quick chat, I'm going to talk about some Real Housewives of Potomac, just briefly, okay? Specifically about Miss Candice Dillard and her husband, Mr. Chris Bassett, as well as a little bit of Gizelle Bryant and the fans too, okay? Now, first off, before we really get into the fans, what they had to say about Giselle and things, okay, we also going to touch on a little bit of Monique as well. But before we get into all of that, I definitely want to highlight Miss Candice because Miss Girl made it over to the Soul Train Awards, baby. And this outfit is something that I would definitely wear. Honey, it's the side ponytail giving, okay? Super cute. Loving the cute little piece of a tube top, halter top, whatever you want to call the top, and a skirt that's definitely going to show us a piece of a leg and a thigh. Yes, ma'am. The boots are definitely giving. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if Miss Candice was actually nominated for anything. I did not see that, but it's just the fact that she was able to even be invited and be amongst the stars. Okay. Such a legendary event. Okay. Y'all know Soldier Train. Soul Train has been around for many years, okay, as well as the Soul Train Awards. So just for her to grace the presence, girl, you better go ahead and get out here. All right, Miss Candice is stepping out of the norm so people can consider her and really take her serious for real, right? As a real artist, okay? Not just a reality TV star over here on a Bravo network or whatever, girl. She's really trying to step out and, and let the people see, like, hey, girl, take me serious. I really do this or whatever. I can be seen as an artist. That's what I am, not just a star, reality TV star. Working on her acting and everything. I'm trying to think. I can't really recall anybody else that's been a reality TV star like initially and then expanded and got bigger and gained a very large audience or a large audience of fans or whatever of reality TV. The only person I can think about is Cardi B, and she really came from some ratchet TV, okay? And then she was able to, elevate, and she's this big global star now, Miss Cardi B. So I can't think of anybody else, okay? Miss Candy Burris was already that girl before she even became a reality star, right? So that has to be amazing, number one, okay? To already be that girl, then you get on this TV show to add value to whatever else you got going on. I think that's great. So now Miss Candice is, she's trying to get on her Candy Burris, okay? She's trying to get on her Cardi B by expanding that name, that brand, okay, her artistry, all of that. So shout out to her for that. I thought she looked really cute. All right. I got a chance to see a few of the pictures from the Soul Train Awards, and a lot of the people looked really cute. So I'm going to definitely give that to them. But anyway, I wanted to come and I wanted to chit chat about some of the things that the fans has to say about the latest episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. I also want to get into the latest live that Chris Bassett did, where he pretty much was calling Giselle out for the BS and using the situation as a storyline. And he's right, because it's like, girl, we haven't seen you talk about anything going on with your life, like with your life, nothing. Like, you spoke on your daughters or whatever, and we got to see that scene, and it was boring, girl. Fast forward, like, let's get to the next thing. Like, we know your daughters are growing up. What else do you have going on? Okay, it's giving every bit of boring. Let me attach myself to something else over here. So it's just fugaziness. Can't wait to get into the review later on tonight. But before we do that, I want to get into this post that somebody put over there onto the Twitter, and this is what they said. This person, and you know what's so funny, I have to make sure that I say this. I saw this tweet originally on social media. In the comments, I saw a ton of people dragging Candice because they thought that Candice put this post up about saying Monique needs an apology. Dead. Candice never put this up, baby. This was not Candice. I definitely got in the comments and made sure I let the people know in all caps, girl, keep in mind, this is not a tweet from Candice. This is not a tweet from Candice. This is a fan stand, whatever you want to call them. And this is what they're putting out here, okay? They said, looking at this season so far, I definitely believe Monique is owed an apology for season 5. At the season 5 reunion, she said how Giselle came up with the plot before the season started and nobody believed her. We now see that was definitely the case, and they are doing it again. Okay. Now somebody did kind of, there were some other people that had some things to say. But for me, I don't really think she is owed an apology at all, right? And the person that made this post wanted to be very clear to let the people know that she's owed an apology for the plot that was made about her. She's owed an apology for calling out the plot and people saying that, she was lying, right? That's why she's owed an apology. They said not for the fight because they believe that she was wrong for the fight. So that's completely separate. She's only owed an apology for acknowledging that these ladies were plotting on her. But I still feel like she's not owed an apology at all. Because when she called that out, Candice actually confirmed that at the reunion that there was a plot. She did agree and confirm that at the reunion. So why are we apologizing to her over a plot that was made? If anybody that owes her an apology, if that is the case, that would be Giselle, right? Because this person also was saying, I think the fans owe her an apology. No, baby. That's going to be Giselle. Giselle owes her an apology because Giselle spearheaded the plot or whatever was going on. And Candice admitted that there was a plot and even said that that plot was not going to fly because that baby looks just like his daddy. Okay. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, no, I have to disagree with that. All right. Now, let's keep going because some people ended up having some things to say. Somebody says, like, why the F will we apologize to Monique? Laugh my ass off, silly. So then this other person responded and says, I need someone to explain it to me. Like I'm five. Explain it to me like I'm five, baby. Giselle brought the trainer rumor up in a confessional. Monique used it at the reunion to justify why she put her hands on the only person to defend her in this quote unquote plot. Who are we saying sorry to exactly? My personal opinion, no one. The fight is so past due, girl. It's old. These two ladies will never be friends again. But if y'all want an apology so bad, y'all need to go over there, tip tap, knock on the door, and sweep around the door of Giselle so that she can step out and she can give the apology that is needed to Monique if y'all feel that she's deserving of one. Y'all can send that over there towards Giselle. The same way Giselle gonna have to boomerang and spin it back and apologize to Miss Candice at some point, which we know she'll never do. But she'll sit up there and she'll apologize to Mia for saying this woman was lying about her cancer and that she was sitting up here hyping it up because she was seeking attention, right? You'll apologize to that woman for that. But you won't apologize for how you was coming at Wendy last season and didn't want to say that it's a hate train because Miss Girl sat up there and dragged you. Girl, I know you did feel like you was on the train when she had your hair by them tracks and she was dragging you. I'm sure. I am sure you felt like it was a hate train, okay? But that's not what it was, all right? But y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below and let me know whether or not you feel like Miss Girl is owed an apology. And if so, who should that apology come from? And understand they're two separate things, okay? This person is not talking about the fight. They feel like she was wrong in that. They're merely only talking about an apology for the plot that was created against her, okay? One that was already acknowledged at the reunion, okay? Because Candice acknowledged that. All right. Now let's go ahead and get into some other things when it comes to Giselle and this whole storyline dealing with Candice, okay? And then we'll get into some of the things that Chris Bassett had to say. All right. So first off, somebody says, which I thought was interesting, they said Giselle is the Lisa Rinna of Potomac, but y'all not ready for that conversation. Baby, it's definitely giving Lisa Rinna the most disliked, disrespectful housewife over there at Beverly Hills, okay? Really a person that don't really care about nobody else how they feel, definitely move with selfish intent. It's a lot of flaws about Rinna that I've acknowledged the past 2 years since I've been watching the show. Some of y'all have been watching it from the very, very beginning. Y'all keep telling me to go back and watch it, but I doubt that I will, girl. Okay. But she's been problematic for the longest. And for them to, correlate Giselle with Lisa Rinna, girl, I'm not surprised. It's definitely a cackle. And y'all about definitely have a point. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into more. All right. So somebody says, Giselle, I don't believe that Chris had any intention on SAing you. I don't believe that you were in danger or that you thought Chris would. Okay. They said, I do believe that the optics of being alone with him made you think twice. However, the situation wasn't created by him. I have to agree. I mean, like, girl, one of the two, both of y'all, whether he off asked, could we go to your room, or whether you suggested it or whatever, the point is somebody gave an agreement for y'all to go back to the room, and it's your room, so it must have been you. Went back to the room, you realized your people wasn't there, girl. That was the moment you could have just said, let's step out. From my understanding, at some point when the conversation was happening, because I do feel like the reason Chris had that conversation with Giselle was because he did not like the fact that Giselle likely did not have Candice's back, especially keep in mind at the reunion, Giselle says if Mia would have hit Candice in the face or whatever, Giselle would have felt like it would have been all good. It would have been okay. It would have been warranted. It would have been expected. Whatever it was Giselle said, she was basically condoning violence. All right. So there's that. after she went on a whole quote unquote hate train on Monique and didn't say, and she didn't like the violence or whatever that Monique, put off on Candice. But then now you feel like if Mia would have did it to Candice, you would have understood. That's what you're saying, right? Okay. So I feel like that's the reason why Chris went to that room to have a conversation with her, because the clip that Bravo showed us was, you could tell that he kind of felt the way. And then Giselle was like, because he said, I don't like the line of questioning. I don't like XYZ. He was talking to Candice. Giselle said, you okay, Chris? Chris said, I'll tell you about it later or whatever. I'm good. I'll talk to you later, whatever it was. So that let me know Chris had an issue with Giselle. So for Giselle to have a conversation with Robin and try and make it seem like Chris was complaining about complaining about Candice, that man wasn't complaining about his wife. That man was complaining about your ex. Okay, that's what that was. And I feel like you did not like being checked by him. In addition to that, you probably didn't like being in the room, so you asked him to go ahead and leave. Because that's also another thing that Giselle does. When Giselle may be losing an argument or whatever like that, she likes to have people dismiss themselves or something, or like, okay, well then you could go or whatever like that. She does this thing. So I feel like she did that to Chris in the moment, and Chris was like, okay, I'll leave. The door was already open anyway, so I don't really know what Giselle's trying to insinuate. She said that she wasn't trying to insinuate that he wanted to come on to her, but at the same time, you talked to Robin and said that he's a sneaky link. Like, girl, you're not making any sense. But what does make sense for me, he was checking your ass, okay? He was disappointed in you, right? As somebody that he sees he's probably more closer to out of all of the cast, okay? And sees you as a sister or whatever it is. So I think that he was thoroughly disappointed in you and you couldn't take it. But that's just what it is that I'm thinking, all right? What else ended up happening that I wanted to talk about with this? Yeah, so they said the situation wasn't created, by Chris alone. So Giselle, you contributed to that. And now you're trying to sit up here and play this man. And I don't think it's fair. And I don't think that you should be able to get away with that. And you also not giving us none of your storyline either, like nothing. Like, I don't think that's fair. Let's keep going, okay? Somebody else says, the thing with Giselle is that we know her as someone who tells you what she likes and what she doesn't like. So why didn't she tell Chris? She could have said, let's step outside. Hope Chris make dinner and gives her a PB&J sandwich. Good night. Okay, that's not gonna happen. Not gonna make no dinner or nothing. But I'm with you with the first sentence. Okay, I'm with you there. Giselle is a person that's very vocal and tells us what she like versus what she don't like. She don't mind doing it. So why would you wait so long and not address Candice that night, the next day, the next week, or anything? You wait until y'all are filming again, because it's definitely a plot and a plan, and there's no way around that. Okay. Now Chris also goes on to say more lies. What's new? But you want to give an interview to anyone that will listen and call me a liar. Okay. And anyone, the last interview I can recall that Giselle has done was with Carlos King or whatever. But yeah. He ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? You want to sit up there and call that man a liar or whatever. Girl, how about you just out here doing too much just as a whole? But it's okay, because Chris definitely gets over on his IG and he does address a few things. So I'm going to go ahead and play what it is that Chris had to say regarding this situation.
So we get to your room and there's no glam in there. There's nobody in there. You are an adult. And a very vocal one at that. You have no problem holding back how you feel. So when you open the door and there's nobody in there, and you know that you have this feeling, this thing that you don't like, why didn't you say in that very moment, the second you open the door, oh, there's nobody in here. Hey, you know what? There's nobody here. I don't really feel comfortable talking about this. Can we do this another time? You asked me to leave to go check and see if they were in. I left immediately then. So I don't know why. Why wouldn't you just say no right then? That's where I'm hung up on. Like, this is an issue that you have, a feeling that you have that I don't know about. Much like I have never told you I'm very uncomfortable with you talking about my penis every season. But you do it. But I've never said anything. So I can't be mad at it because I've never said anything. I'm not going to ask her for an apology. But I've never said anything. But again, if you really felt that way, like you said something to Robin that night, that's what you said. So why didn't you call Candice the next day, the next week, 2 weeks later, a month later? Why did you wait 5 months until there was a camera rolling to say that? Why? You know, everybody talks. I'm not talk about that either. But whatever. And I see a lot of. She needed a storyline. Yeah. If she did that for a storyline, that's really sad, and I feel sorry for her. Like, if that's the best you have to offer, maybe this isn't your platform. I don't know. Clearly, I thought I knew somebody that I was friendly with, that we were friends. But clearly what I thought was not Giselle made your penis a friend of. Jesus Christ.
Girl, I can't. Chris over here asking why Giselle waited 5 months. Chris, you know why she waited 5 months. She waited 5 months so that she could switch the narrative of the conversation that y'all had in that room so that she could bring it to the forefront plot plan, okay, on how she was going to bring this into the show or whatever, okay? So that's why she did it. I also feel like the reason she did not tell Candice about it that night, even though she told Robin, was because she probably did not like the fact that you were calling her out for how she was at the reunion. And she knew if she would have called Candice, Candice was going to sit up there and be on Team Chris, of course, as she should. Okay. So that's just what it is that I think about it, right? And I agree. If you're using this as your storyline, it's not an if, that's what it is, Chris. You're watching the show just like we are. It is sad. Okay, it is sad. Get you some business, get you somebody else. So, girl, at least go pay for somebody to come on the show and be your man if you don't, want to show us your real man. Girl, go get something else, right? Because your daughters are about to graduate and go on and move on about their life and stuff. So then what are you going to talk about then? Who else marriage is going to be left for you to come for? If it's going to be, it may be Mia's next, right? Nia, you buddy right now, but they go through everybody. It's like a hazing process or something. I don't understand, even though Candice has been on the show for so long, but it's like everybody go through this process. So Mia, you're going to be next. Right. And then after that, Robin, she might even come at you. She might even try and come at you because what's going to be so funny, and I would love to see if this situation with Juan being named in this lawsuit and it's a complaint because he was privy to his assistant coaches, SA and catfishing and all of the things that's concerning his assistant coach. If this is indeed true and it's brought in as a storyline, I want Giselle, since you be tip tapping in everybody's business, I want you to be pressing Robin, asking her questions about what's happening. If that's the case, the way you be up there pressing Wendy, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're wearing your breasts, you know what I'm saying? You're showing your breasts. Is it because of the rumors about Eddie? I want you to do the same thing you do to them. To in the same way you was over there treating Karen and stuff, talking about her taxes and how Ray out here messing with a whole nother woman. I want you to have that same energy with Robin when they bring this situation to the show, should they? Robin, why are you doing X, Y, and Z? Why are you wanting a prenup? Do you want a prenup because these details have leaked out about Juan right now? Like, what's really going on? Even though he didn't have anything to do with it directly, indirectly, he knew about it and still hired this man. And when this boy came to him, he brushed it off. So, I mean, is that why you're acting like this, or you're doing this because of the situation with Juan? I want you to chime in and go in on Robin like you do everybody else in their business. You feel what I'm saying, girl? But either way, good luck. That's all that I got. I wanted to come to you guys real quick on some Real Housewives of Potomac updates on Miss Candice, Chris Bassett, this whole storyline with Gizelle Bryant. Okay, I want you guys to go ahead and hop down in the comments. Let me know your overall thoughts about everything. Subscribe to the channel if you have yet to do so. Be sure to like the video, all that other great jazz, and I will catch you guys in the next one.